Right, started, yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. So welcome everybody to this Executive Cabinet Members meeting for Stronger Communities. I'm Councillor Rabia Jiva. The date is the 19th of February 2025. I will pass it on to my colleague Ian to do his introduction and just take the panel's introduction, please, and any apologies.
Okay, I'll do that. Just for the record, Councillor Jeeva's having trouble dialing in at the minute. So on the meeting, we have myself, Ian Mulholland from Democratic Services, Lee Fallows, Director of Corporate Resources, Mark Aspin, I've forgotten your title. Mark?
Sorry, yeah, it's Assistant Director of Community Safety and Housing.
Okay. Catherine Roscoe, just remind me your title.
Principal Group Accountant.
Oh, yes, right. And councillors Peter Wright, Gary Vivers, Tracy Wilkinson, Hanif Ali, and Raf Martinez, who is Head of Community Safety. Okay.
Brilliant.
Thanks, Councillor Jeeva.
Thank you. Is there any apologies?
I have no apologies, no.
Brilliant, thank you. So just to know, apologies, I've got technical difficulties due to council laptop not working effectively for me today. But if there are any indications of hand questions, if you just use the same protocol, and Ian will bring you into the conversation. So if we go straight to the agenda items today, the first one being the monitoring of decisions. So all documents have been circulated prior to the meeting by Ian. So can I confirm and record the monitoring of decision, please?
Yes, that came to follow. There's nobody indicating, Councillor Jeeva, in terms of any comments.
Brilliant. So if we're happy to move
Oh, Councillor
to
Ali's put his hand up. Sorry, Councillor Ali.
Go on now, Councillor Ali.
You're on mute, Councillor Ali.
Hi. I don't know if this is the appropriate time, but I just wanted to say that Communities First is objecting to 90,000 from the 600 Community Recovery Fund being used for CCTV.
Mark, do you want to come in? Is that not on the item?
Yeah, so obviously the decision relates to the £600,000 funding we've got from the recovery fund. Obviously, a portion of that has to be spent on capital action, so essentially assets that we can buy that can help improve security, and it's something certainly the police and others have fed back that they said was necessary, but happy to and I know we've made the offer to brief the councillor just in terms of the funding more generally, so happy to facilitate that conversation.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's just that my diary was just chock-a-block and I've not had the opportunity to meet with you prior, but you know, after reading the criteria of the fund and so forth, I do feel that a lot of that is, I think that funding's for community cohesion projects, and I understand there's a capital side for it, but I do believe that it might be that those capital costs could be better used in community facilities and so forth. So that's why I've got, it's like 90k of community cohesion is going towards policing and CCTV cameras. It doesn't sit well, really.
No, Mark, if I can come back, councillor, happy to have that discussion. Sure. Maybe we arrange that catch up and we can talk it through.
Please, thank you.
Yeah, so just to make it apparent that that item was discussed at the last meeting, and I appreciate that the diary conflicts and issues around the laptop, etc. with yourself. The offer has been made out to yourself, Councillor Ali, to have these wider discussions at this present moment. That has been approved by the wider panel that had the discussion and dialogue, and by myself has been approved with the rationale provided, but to give you that conversation and dialogue to be opened, that opportunity is still there. So please do email us with your availability, and the officers will have that conversation. But at this moment in time, as the executive member, with the rationale provided and the dialogue held in last month's meeting, we are still approving that and going ahead with it. Okay, So any other questions, Ian? Any
There's
other
nobody else
indications?
indicating, Councillor Jeevan, no?
Thank you. So I'm going to move it to number 2 on the agenda item. So finance report, if we can go through quarter 3, which was also circulated for 24 to 25.
That would be myself, Chair.
It's Councillor Roscoe, sorry, Catherine Roscoe, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so this report contains the quarter 3 update for the Directorate of Corporate Resources. The report is split into 3 sections: revenue, capital and reserves. Regarding the revenue budget, the Directorate is currently projected a year-end overspend of 52.3k, of which for this portfolio there's an underspend of 32.2k. Capital expenditure for the Directorate of Corporate Resources at quarter 3 was 696k against a revised quarter 3 budget of 4.9 million. There are no capital schemes within this portfolio and no revisions. Regards to reserves, the Directorate of Corporate Resources has a projected year-end balance of earmarked reserves of 9.9 million. For this portfolio, there's a projected year-end balance of 3.814 million. The Cabinet member is recommended to firstly note the quarter 3 financial position of the Directorate of Corporate Resources. Secondly, approve the 25-26 Local Welfare Provision Scheme and Local Council Tax Discretionary Reduction Fund budget continuation. So that's the budget continuation into 25-26. And finally, note the key findings of the report. Thank you, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Brilliant. Ian, please could you open it up to the floor and see if anybody's indicating to ask any questions?
Nobody's indicated so far. There's nobody indicated. Councillor Jeevan, no.
Okay, so as my colleague stated in the report, the recommendations are there for approving. So therefore, Ian, can we note as approved the recommendations as set out in the paperwork?
You've approved those. That's fine. Okay.
Thank you. The
I'll
next
stop.
part.
Yes. Yeah. I'll stop the recording because the next part is a confidential item.